Part 4. Directions. You will hear some talks given by a single speaker. You will be asked to answer 3 questions about what the speaker says in each talk. Select the best response to each question and mark the letter A, B, C, or D on your answer sheet. The talks will not be printed in your test book and will be spoken only one time. Questions 71 through 73 refer to the following radio program.
Welcome back to the bookstall. This week I read Joseph Stiglitz's latest book and I enjoyed it. Making Globalization Work was a refreshing, readable foray into the sometimes confusing world of macroeconomics. Stiglitz, a presidential advisor and former chief economist for the World Bank, was the 2001 Nobel laureate in economics. He had previously published Globalization and Its Discontents, a compendium of the problems globalization has created. His intimate knowledge of World Bank, IMF, and WTO operations reinforced his view that developing countries were not helped by, in fact, were frequently hurt by, the self-interested policies of much more powerful developed nations. In the sequel, Stiglitz lays out his vision of what's needed. His nearly 4 decades of research and important role in shaping economic policy have convinced him that a modicum of government intervention and regulation, particularly in trade agreements, can level the playing field among nations and bring the benefits of market economy to all. After the break, I'll be back to read a few of Stiglitz's thoughts on how this could be carried out.
Number 71. In what field did Stiglitz establish his career? Number 72. How can Stiglitz's latest book be described? Number 73. What is Stiglitz's vision for globalization policy? Questions 74 through 76 refer to the following commentary. Well, Shannon, this sports fair has certainly been well received here. All 3 floors of the expo center are full, some 250 exhibitors altogether, ranging from top-ranked sports teams through equipment and apparel manufacturers to sports medicine and dietary supplement providers. With game tickets and products as door prizes, plus the chance to meet some star players, the public has, not surprisingly, come out in force to share in the excitement and see where the industry is going. Although this event was intended primarily as an industry meetup, some 3,000 people have come through the doors each day. And what I've seen here includes a lot of parents with their young athletes. One father I talked to said he was looking for information to help him judge if his children were getting good training advice from their coaches. His son, though, seemed more interested in state-of-the-art basketball shoes. And there are plenty of those on display. But I also observed a lot of earnest business discussions taking place, with equipment makers pressing their case, with wholesale reps and sports retailers. I see Jim Mannix just coming this way. He's sales manager of Envita Footwear and the director of the fair, so I'll try to get a word with him. Number 74. What type of commentary is this? Number 75. Why has the event been well attended by the public? Number 76. What intended outcome of the event was realized? Questions 77 through 79 refer to the following talk.
One of the more creative approaches to helping children deal with catastrophic events in their lives sprang from the fertile mind of artist Eleanor Bennington. Her own works have always been shopping sprees into those hidden and most painful reaches of her own experience. When Bennington heard of the children whose peaceful mountain villages had been swept away in the recent wildfires, She knew that art would offer them a way of working through their nightmares. What we have here is an installation of monumental value, a record of the fires seen through the eyes of children who, with Bennington's seminal instructions for their teachers, put their worst fears to paper, paint, papier-mâché and collage. They created a stunning witness to the horrors they saw and subsequently tried to forget. Those fears come alive in their creations, allowing them, the witnesses, and us, the receptors, to deal with these scenes burned indelibly on their psyches. This first work by Dimitra Halkias shows her home in ashes. Further along...
Number 77. What does this talk introduce? Number 78. What is the subject of the works that will be described? Number 79. Where did the artists do their work? Questions 80 through 82 refer to the following report.
All right, let's get started. We've been tasked with the job of monumental proportions. Let me begin by reminding you that we've got over 2,000 drug companies and 150,000 food processing companies, not to mention thousands of small exporters. And in recent months, a few of the, shall we say, less responsible ones have failed to live up to good practices. Recalls of their dangerous products have undermined our reputation in the international market. Somehow, this team has to bring this giant under control, and to do that immediately. We'll start with a thorough review of product standards to identify which ones need to be tightened. Then, after developing recommendations for inspection and enforcement, members of this task force will directly supervise execution of the plan. I can assure you, we will have a free hand and a full backing of the Governing Council. Improvement of our image and continued economic growth are foremost in their minds. You'll find my action outline in the folders you've been given.
Number 80. What is the speaker's position? Number 81. Why has this working group been created? Number 82. What can the listeners expect from their government? Questions 83 through 85 refer to the following weather report.
Jenny Holman here with World Weather Today. Hurricane Xavier continues to build in strength as it approaches the Texas Gulf Coast. We're expecting this to become a Category 5 storm as it makes landfall tomorrow near Galveston, and authorities there are beginning evacuation, and businesses in the area will remain closed for several days. U.S. cities on the Atlantic seaboard, however, are enjoying sunny weather with temperatures in the high 20s. Temperature dropping from west to east in Europe, the southern Mediterranean rim is also enjoying a respite after the extreme heat they've had this summer. Barcelona is a sunny 28, Rome 27, and Athens 25, and these conditions are expected to hold throughout the week. If you're flying into London or Brussels, though, be prepared for some delays. The north continues to suffer what now seems like unending rain, with temperatures in the teens. London 17 Celsius, Brussels 15, Paris 15, and Frankfurt 13. And where the rain has let up, morning ground fog has diverted some flights, so check our frequent weather updates on your laptop or cell phone at WNN.com. I'll be back with an update on Hurricane Xavier in the next hour.
Number 83. What group of listeners does this report target? Number 84. What can be said about the current European weather? Number 85. What weather phenomenon is given particular attention? Questions 86 through 88 refer to the following talk.
Okay, this is what I've put together so far. This is the cover slide, and the second one has our team listed. I thought I'd start with a pie chart to illustrate our market share. Then I want to use this line graph to show our company's growth over the past 5 years. And then this multiple line graph showing our growth against the other leading competitors. They're scattered all over the charts, and we clearly are in the lead. I think a bar chart at this point might be good, something that shows the dollar amount of market share for each of us 5 years ago and today. We can put today's bar in the bright colour, with a darker shade of the same colour for the amount 5 years ago. What I'm still up in the air about is which colour to give our company throughout. Red would stand out, and that's what we want if we're to attract additional investors. But I also lean toward bright green, or even black. Both colours are perceived as positives in business jargon. I'm really not sure about this. What do you think?
Number 86. What graphic does the speaker not suggest using? Number 87. What is the goal of the presentation being discussed? Number 88. What is the speaker indecisive about? Questions 89 through 91 refer to the following radio talk.
Fellow discerning diners, I'm tempted to call this week's report the raw story. For your Epicurean pleasure, this weekend I've checked out 2 new restaurants, 5-star, in my book, both of them, one of which specialises in uncooked meat and the other in fresh veggies. Aptly named the Total Tartar, in Kensington offers an array of beef steak tartar, the likes of which I have never seen before. You can choose from ground round to delicate paper-thin slices of sirloin with garnishes and condiments, from mild to very spicy. I had the Attila Special, tiny cubes of raw steak with scorching hot chili peppers and a vinaigrette dipping sauce. Superb! If meat, raw or uncooked, isn't your thing, I'd recommend the Herb Garden, out near the river in Tooting Bec. They literally have their own garden, organic of course, and every ingredient is picked fresh the same day. I particularly like the little aubergine boat, heaped full of seasonal salad in a light yogurt-based sauce. Well worth the rather long trek out to the Bec. I'll be back after this rather intrusive break with my recommendations on wines.
Number 89. When is this program likely to be broadcast? Number 90. What does the speaker find most notable about the meat restaurant? Number 91. What theme connects the 2 restaurants discussed? Questions 92 through 94 refer to the following recorded message.
Welcome to the telephone customer services of Western Interbank. For English, press 1. For Spanish, press 2. For French, press 3. For Japanese, press 4. WIB is here to serve your banking needs. If you need information about an existing account, please press 1. To open a new account, please press 2. For general bank information, press 3. You are one of WIB's valued customers. For the balance in your account, press 1. To change the way you receive bank statements, press 2. To order new checks, press 3. To speak to one of our bank advisors, please press 4. To return to the menuing system, press 5. Thank you for calling Western Interbank.
Number 92. Where does Western Interbank operate? Number 93. Who is the caller using the telephone menu system? Number 94. What must the caller do to return to the main menu system? Questions 95 through 97 refer to the following call-in talk show.
Yes, Larry, thanks for taking my call. I was in the workforce back in the 80s when they told us that reducing taxes on upper income brackets would trickle down to the rest of us. But of course, it didn't. And we only saw improvement in wages and job creation when that policy was reversed by the next administration. Time and again, we've seen that high-end tax cuts only help, well, the high end. But the past few years, a new generation of voters have been assured, once again I might add, that tax cuts for the rich would somehow benefit them. And unfortunately, a lot of them bought into the idea, a notion which, in my mind, has been repeatedly disproved. So I guess my question for Mrs. Price would be in two parts. When are we going to require basic economic theory to be taught in high school, not just in universities? And what proposals does she offer to make sure that funding is available to make that part of the nationwide school curriculum?
Number 95. On what does the caller base his views of tax policy? Number 96. What is the caller's main contention? Number 97. To whom is the caller directing his question? Questions 98 through 100 refer to the following talk.
Zorka in Bulgaria writes, which test should I take to go to university in the UK? Well, I need to come back to that question and start with the reason for tests. Teachers have always tested to see if their students have absorbed the lesson, and some universities have used tests as one criteria for admissions. Increasingly, though, mobility from city to city, country to country, and continent to continent have caused employers and educators to demand tests, especially of foreign language, as part of their acceptance scheme. They don't know the applicant's capabilities personally and can't wait for a period of time to see if they work out. So they rely on standard tests. When large universities or governments mandate a particular test, this gives a boost to the preparation and testing industry. That having been said, Zorka, you should start with the universities you're hoping to attend and see what tests each requires. Check them out online or ask your teachers and advisors for their recommendation. And that's it for today. I'll be back again next week with Edu Hour.
Number 98. Who is the speaker? Number 99. What has spurred the growth in the testing field? Number 100. What does the speaker advise the writer to do?